Well, hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Flying with Mike. We're glad to have you aboard today. Chattanooga to Memphis. Folks, we're talking, this could actually be a record flight. Only 280 miles, I believe it is, to Memphis. Probably one of the shortest we have flown. So, I hope you enjoy it. We're going to be doing which one is it out here? I can't figure it out. Are we going to go in the three-holer or the two-holer? We're in the ZIBO 737. And believe me, folks, when I saw this shot, when I got this all set up and I put a camera, turned the camera and all to it, and I went, huh, what a great shot. Because I've actually been flipping the coin for the last week and a half on this flight. Do I fly the 727? Do I fly ZIBO? Back and forth and back and forth. And as you can tell, the coin landed. Actually, it was an executive decision because I didn't like sometimes the way the coin landed. Um, we went with ZIBO. So today, folks, we are going to fly the ZIBO, but what a great. When I came in here the first time, here, let me back out a little here, get myself set back up. That's what it looked like. And I just about went, wow. I knew there was a 727. That wasn't it. But just the look of old and new sitting on the line was phenomenal. So, but again, welcome to Flying with Mike, folks. Love having you aboard. Hope you all enjoy the ride. And we're going to get up here into the cockpit and get this little firecracker going. Uh, Being that it is only 30, 40 minutes over to Memphis leads us to the possibility, if we, if all the stars and Jupiter and Saturn all get into the right place in the sky, of possibly doing a second flight. So, be thinking about that in the chat room. Love to hear your ideas on that. But there is that real good sense of a second flight. All right, folks, here you have it. ZIBO sitting right there, right dab smack in front of you. And folks, if you're from that other simulators world, you're going, that looks very, very familiar. ZIBO is an amazing modification to the default 737 here in X-Plane 12. You get everything that PMDG aircraft gives you. In some arenas, a little more, and I'm sure in others it outdoes a little, but folks, it's not much. The biggest difference between the two, aside from the fact one's on X-Plane 12, one's on that other one, is while you paid an arm and a leg and someone else's arm and a leg, maybe even another person to get it. Oh, and then they're going to update that other sim. So then you're going to have to do it again. It's free. Okay, I'm going to pause a minute while y'all get yourself reorganized after fainting. It's free. So there's words you're not used to in the sim world for this high level of quality. Free. Okay, pick yourselves back up. But anyway, I'm not kidding, folks. It's a free mod. This group individual, I don't know personally, but they have done a phenomenal job, folks. Phenomenal. So we'll get into the pre-flight here right after the break. So be right back. All right, and for those of you that subscribe, thank you so much. You're what help us. You didn't help us much in getting this aircraft because it's free, but we are really looking at adding another plane to the fleet. Thought I had one. It fell short. So we're still looking, folks, and I have my eye on a couple. Also waiting on a couple that I've heard coming. So I don't know yet where we're going to steer, but thank you so much for that ability to help steer where we head. It's with your biddies, donos, and subscriptions that allowed that, and hopefully the ad-free viewing you enjoy in return. So, as we're coming out of the break here, again, thank you. And to our followers, thank you for being a part of Flying with Mike. Again, I know I've said that quite a bit, and you're going, come on, Captain, get that needle moved. We're going to push on, but I just really want to say thank you all. It's amazing 3-year journey here that we've had, and continue hopefully many more. So onward we go with the pre-flight brief. Sim Toolkit will be the animal we use, and we're going to do a little, not big, but a little, here's how we do it kind of thing with Sim Toolkit. Kind of, sort of. I already got the flight plan out there. So basically, once you get it downloaded, you come to this screen. Now, how do you get to where you start a flight in here? Well, you just come right here to My Flights. Now, I think there's a way this menu bar can be opened, but I like it collapsed. So, but like I said, this is not intended as a tutorial, just to show you what I do. So I'll click Flight Planning. Now, if you're VFR, I always have troubles with this, but you can always try it out. These are great utilities, folks. Great stuff. I really like the flight schedule because when I get to places in Europe that I know of, but I don't know how and where airlines operate through it, I go to that, and it helps me out quite a bit. Here, I'll give you an example. All right, let's go to real flights. Let's say we were in EDDP not too long ago, Lespeghal Airport. And I know you guys in Germany are laughing your butts off at me. Enjoy it, because I will get you one day. Ooh, nice laugh for this time of the year. Anyway, but there you go. I can go to Singapore. There's flights that go to Costa Rica, Los Angeles, Tokyo. These are the long hauler. Go, we're not flying 12 hours, 44 minutes to Hong Kong. It's there. And most of that's DHL, by the way. And then as you keep going down, the times go down. Unfortunately, that I don't think you can flip-flop. You might be able to, but I've never tried. It would be over here in the default sort. But I can narrow my focus. You notice the aircraft. Well, let's, you know, what the heck? Let's, you know what? Let's just put a 737 in it. See what happens. 737-800. Now it just changed. Now you see everything coming out of EDDP in a 737-800. And now you can see, obviously, the flight times changed. I can go over to Turkey. I think that airport's closed to commercial flights. Don't quote me on that, folks, but I think it is. So, all the way down to München, or as I like to call it, Munich, and get punched. Vienna and so forth. So you see how that works. That's why this is such a great tool. Or I want to go to Burbank. I could put that in arrival and boom, it shows me everything coming in. So then I know I could start maybe setting up a series of flights whose end goal, Burbank. So, but anyway, today we're going here. So we're on our plan of flight. Now you could physically set your flight up right here, and this is linked to SimBrief, not because I have it down here, but because I actually have a SimBrief account. It's free. All you have to do is register. But no, I already had one out there, I told you, so I'll just click load. There's my flight. That's simple, folks. And then just verify everything. There's nothing time-wise or anything, so whatever you did time-wise in SimBrief, that's not showing here. All you got to do is click Fly Now. And voila, You are on the map where we usually start. So that's how that all works. Now, one other thing you can do, you can tie in. Now, if you're into updating your FMC because you want to be up to date, that av geek out there that has to be up to date with charts, with correction, not charts, because what I'm getting ready to say is not chart related yet, with your fixes, VORs, star, SID, inputs in your FMCs and all of that good stuff. You pay that fee to NavGraph. Well, there's a little bit extra fee you can tag onto that and get charts for the world. If you fly the US, okay, I'll give you maybe an overkill. It's JEP charts, though, folks, which I think are better. My opinion, private pilot me, I think the JEP charts give more information than the FAA, but the FAA does give some information I'm not private pilot wise seeing on the JEP. So, but you can incorporate charts in, and you can get it for the desktop, you can get it for a browser, or you can put the links and all in to use it here in a one-stop shop fashion. All right, so there's where we are, and we're going somewhere over here. So what we can do now that we know we have a flight, you saw it, it's not much, folks, it's super simple. We'll import, wrong, he's wrong. Import from SimBrief, the bottom one. And then we'll do this flight. That was our Monday flight. And there you have it, folks. Fully inputted in here. The only thing missing is the approach and departure. So that's how we get it all set up. Now we went through how you could take a flight plan, just the basics, start, finish, and with charts, build it. At least your departure to your standard instrument departure, SID, to your standard terminal arrival chart, STAR, and then you fill in the middle. So, but now, let's go one step further. So, what's the weather like there, Cap? Well, it looks like we're pretty decent on weather. I'm not seeing anything on the radar. Cloud cover, let's see. I think what's outside my window is pretty much that way straight to the Gulf. Don't quote me on that, but it's like nearly severe clear here, folks. And what else? And these, as you can see, you gotta, let me close out so it's better. You can put this into a animated form. Interactive is the IT word. And it's great to have that ability. I like putting the telemetry down here because it's a neat little feature. Also, I can go right here. There's today's, right now, VTAR. Variable winds out of here at 10 miles. Visibility. Few clouds at 6,000 to bust through, and 25,000 as well. So really, it's clear, folks. 3011 on the altimeter. Again, folks, forgive me for coughing. Sorry, allergies are unrelenting this year. Yeah, hopefully by November. I'll get my voice completely back. No, the harvest will be done here in the Midwest, and our allergies will begin to settle. All right. So as you can see, you can get it in the aviation format. Oh, look, and they're so nice to break it down into some people's format so they can understand, because they haven't, gotten the knowledge yet of aviation terms. Take it to remark. After that's mostly scientific. Some of it you can piece together. Most of it's scientific stuff. Like down here, automated station with a precipitation disseminator, sea level, blah, 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 blah. You didn't know it said all that, did you? It's all blah, 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 blah. Morse code would be easier to read. Anyway, but yeah, there we go. You can also go into the airport itself to weather. If it's a digital ATIS, meaning the ATIS in the US, it might put it up here. If Atlanta was up and they put a tower or something there to let pilots in Chattanooga know, they'd have the ATIS here under VATSIM. So really some cool stuff here with it. But anyway, for our getting back on track here, folks, as we digressed off to the left there pretty hard, we are going to plan runway 20. I don't know if that's a good runway yet or not, so let's find out. We're way down here, and 20 is way up there. Yeah, well, that's, how it goes, folks. So we got a long taxi, roughly 7,400 feet. So, but we will go from one end to the other for takeoff. And by the way, it took me a little bit, but this is where FedEx does park. So, and no recreations planned. So, and that's the only mention. I don't know much about what happened in Memphis a couple weeks ago with the 757, other than, if you don't know, 757 took off, came back, gear up, landing. Something mechanically went wrong. So beyond that, nobody got hurt. A lot of grass blades got hurt, but hey, rather them than people. So, all right, so here we go. Let's get this bird going. Nav graphs away. Real quick up here, Chattanooga, we saw the METAR over in Memphis. Winds 180 at 12. I wonder what runways we're using. 10 miles visibility and clear. So make sure we have our moon glasses on, because this is a night flight. Welcome to FedEx. Most of the flights fly at night. 24 degrees Celsius there and 3002. And again, blah, 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 blah. So I really don't know what any of the other, again, it's probably saying this and that and the other thing is there. So big thing is, folks, if you're not familiar with Memphis, 3 sets of north-south runways, 1 east-west. So which one do you think we're going to land on? The one going south. All right, and I think we're scheduled 18 center, yeah. All right, so there you go. Final loadout for today. I know you're going to get a giggle. 94 people. No people, folks. What it does, though, in SimBrief, that allows it to put what 94 people weigh into the payload, and then we go from there, and you're all going, oh, that's a light payload. Yeah, it is. It was kind of funny. This is actually the second time I tried entering it. And the first time, it was 41,800 FedEx Express Virtual wanted me to load. The SimBrief wouldn't take it. It was close. It was only off by 600 pounds. But I'm like, holy crap. That would be an optimal flight out of Chattanooga to Memphis. We're going to put 13,000 pounds of fuel in the wings. And we're going to try for 34,000. We should be able to make it, but we're going to try. I think we can make it. It says we can, and our top of descent, that's going to be off, and I'll show you why. Let's bring NavGraph in real quick. Advance 3 arrival. You can already see we're at or above 24, which is fine. But by Vance, we got to be at 23,000 feet. That's the killer. Let alone the rest of these till we get down to 3,000 here at Hexen. So this Vance at 23,000 or lower, look at what we got to be between only 9 to 10 miles ahead of us. Folks, you're going to be much lower than this one's the one that can be tough, but it's a 36-mile run, so you've got room in there to be above 24. So just so you know. I think we can still make it. So, all right, enough of sim brief. Let's get into this bird and click out of here. There we go. All right. Now, one thing I've heard that I'm not sure the PMDG one has, we do have this lovely handy dandy EFP over here. Don't know if they have it. For all I know, they incorporated it here. All right. But we're going to get this plane going. I have not set this plane up, folks, so we're going basically in a transit state, meaning the airplanes come in. We are not on the APU. We're about to start fueling the plane here in a moment. But we've come in, and usually when they come into these places, they'll come in the morning. The crew finds a place either at home, if that's where they live, or in a hotel, grab some shut-eye, and then they're back that night. So actually, they more than likely would cold dark it. This is simulating. We just came from Memphis into here, and we're going back. Okay. All right. So, okay, flight recorder works. And for those of you new to the PMDG ZIBO style 737 NGs, this is the 800. It all works the same, folks. Okay, there's our 3-gear landing gear lights. Bet you didn't realize that one. That is real, by the way. Oxygen, we're normal. Engine or electronic engine controls, that's what EEC stands for, are on. Reversers, that's what will light up here. We'll see in a moment. And our radios are set. Service interphone off. Dome light off. Surfaces look good. And I'm bringing the flaps up. Anyone who flies the ZIBO can let me know how am I supposed to set up the options so my flaps don't continually deploy to 15 when I fire up. I have tried everything, and I cannot figure that one out. But in a moment, they will be retracted. And we'll be back up because we'll set up the IRS. ELT's set, and we're off on the IRS. Coming down to the remainder. Trim air's off, fuel pumps are off, lights are set, and our isolation valve is open. We're on ground power, and we have the AC/DC switch, and our moderator, Hawker, can now play his AC/DC music. Don't bang your head too much. No smoking lights on because we're about to fuel. Well, you know that cargo, folks. They always party in the back. So you got to be careful. Keep the seatbelt sign on a little longer than you would people. Check our sign. Because those attendants have to come through, you know, and make sure that coffee, tea, or crumpets. And then, like I said, lighting is set. So we're set to start loading this beastie. So let's head over and do that. Fuel, hang on. Fuel, weight, and balance. Click on that. Then your payload. We'll talk about this. I'm going to see if it's working. I am in the latest version. If you ever want to find out and folks, they're constantly updating this. So down at the bottom, you'll see how to get to it. But go to the ZIBO site and you'll see if you need to be updated or not. But you can always check here with the question mark. And we're at 4.4, which I believe is the absolute latest one out there. So who knows? Maybe it'll work. Payload. Couple of ways you can do this. Come down here to payload, type it in. Okay, and that's what we're gonna do. Or if you're so bold and want to make the numbers happen, load in your 94 people through these 5 zones. You've got male, female, kid, child. I'll be nice. Child. Get me into the 21st century here. All right, so we're loading 21,616. 1,616, click enter, and look, it balanced them all out throughout all the stages, and it puts your cargo to some equivalent. So what I'll do is click this arrow, check my numbers. I'm off by 300. I am not going to worry about that, folks. Welcome back, followers. We just blasted on, just put the payload in. All you had to do is click payload. Quickly, the easiest way, click payload again, enter your payload, and poof, you get this screen. And then, check your zero fuel weight against what you're scheduled out. And we're off by 300 pounds. I ain't going to worry about it. Next, put in your fuel. Okay, for this flight, folks, is really 9,000 could probably get us there, but we would be in violation of a few regulations. All right, 13,086, that's what we're requesting. Now, to fuel the plane, there isn't any razzmatazz like those of you in X-Plane that know TOLLOS, where the things drive up. I really love TOLLOS. The fuel truck drives up, the loaders drive up, the caterers you can get to drive up, the ladders if you're not at an airport with a jetway, drive up. I really like, that's the kind of little eye candy stuff I like. Do I 100% really want it? Nah, I really am not looking outside the plane, so I'm not really seeing it. But if you're going to do stuff like that, that's what I like when I pay for it. If it's free, folks, whatever you give me that's free, I like it. And this I really love. So again, we entered our fuel here. There's our weight for it. Fuel function. Now, he'll tell you when he's done if you're paying attention. Otherwise, you'll have to either watch it here and do the math quickly in your head, because it's not like the 767, 757 step put a gauge right under your fuel pumps. So that's the only downside. The other one, of course, is you can go outside and look, there's the fuel truck, but it'll just poof when he's done, which I'm fine with, folks. All right, so let's get back to that. All right, so we're fueling. Let's really get down and dirty with the plan now. All right, so batteries are on. Duh. External power's on. Duh. We wouldn't see anything in front of us. All right, so we got the AC/DC meter on ground power. Let's get those good old IRSs going. Now, you saw me move the display selector to heading status. For the longest time, I could not figure out how long is it, why is it taking so long for the IRS to align? Other than the fact I hate the IRS. Oh, wrong people. Then I found out about this little switch up here. Now, if you guys are in the INS, the SEVA stuff, you know that that thing has a whole plethora of different functions if you move the switch around. From WINS, from ETE, from where your course is, next course, blah, blah. There's a whole bunch to it.
Ground flight deck fuel is all loaded up and you are good to go.
See, he just told us he's done, and the truck has already disappeared. Well, if you go to getting back to this display, if you go back to heading status, it's going to display how many minutes to align. We have 6. We better hurry. And I'm back here, so blink, and that's good. All right. Pressing on. So we are in the align, so let's go nav. That way when it does go to 0, boom, everything comes on and it doesn't get mad at me going, hey, put it over to nav. You know how these airplanes get cranky. All right, so the cabin, utility, is on. IFE passenger seat on. Equipment cooling normal. Exterior lights as required. Technically all we need is the steady, which is down wing lights. We want the strobes, we go 2 clicks up to engage the outer wing lights and the strobes. Oh, you know, one thing I did not look carefully at my plane. Good. I don't want winglets. FedEx does not fly their 737s with winglets. Matter of fact, they pulled them off the 730 or 67s. And I think there's a guy at FedEx Express Virtual who may give smack me here in a second. I think the 757s, they yanked them off too. Don't quote me on that. Don't give smack me. So, but yeah, they pulled them off. So, okay, exterior collision lights, window heat right up here, all on. Pitot heat's off. Anti-ice off. Let's get the center electric pumps off. Okay, and working our way down. Engine pumps are on. Electric pumps are off. Here's our doors currently open. Got the air stair out. We have the front door open and the 2 cargo doors on the co-pilot side. I'm sorry, you all would know them as baggage doors. Fuel pumps are all off. And trim air on. That is down. Recirculators auto, packs in the auto, and again the isolation valve is open. Bleeds on, engines only. All right, let's go ahead, crank that APU up, crank over that left fuel pump, get that sucker on. The aft pump, I have been told, I don't know if this is true in maintenance, the reason that pump is hooked up to the APU and preferred to be used, I think they all can get to it, but that one is the one preferred, because if it doesn't work, they can easily get to it to make it work. Or hopefully get it to work. Let's rephrase it. Again, I could be wrong. Not in maintenance, was a private pilot. Behind the dashboard, not in front of the dashboard. It was way too breezy in front of the dashboard. Sit. Okay, let's go on. Okay, got good oil. And 1, 2, 3, buckle my shoe, and there goes the APU. Okay, and we're just watching the EGT gauge build up. It'll get to a climax here at about 8 to 9. Then it's going to fall back between 4 and 5 here, and then the blue light will light here, meaning we can put it on the generator. All right, while we're waiting, crossfeed check. Should go light blue, come back, dark blue turns off. There we go. And there's our generator. Boom and boom. We're off ground power. So we can come back over here now. Services and come off the ground power. All right, so everything is progressing well, folks. And let's finish up the APU panel by turning on the AP lead. And, of course, we got to get the AC/DC switch. Oh man, I can hear Hawker just having a blast. APU now. AC/DC switch keeps going on and on and on. All right, so folks, we are to the point where we can start programming the FMC. The fun part. Okay, now, we just got the notification that it wants a coordinate in here. But wait a minute, let's go back here and do this properly. FMC. All right, so first thing you want to make sure, and we'll zoom in here for you, make sure your model's right. All your nav data is looking good, especially here, October 5 to November 1, 23. That's your active dates. Okay, that is meaning November 1, we're going to have NavGraph available for us to update our FMCs on a whole long list of aircraft. So if you are that diligent and want to be right with your flight plans all the time, that's how you do it. So this is telling you that. Now let's go to pause int. And I'm going to kind of tilt down here. And let's do it. We are at KCHA. Not going to worry about the gate. Now, for this aircraft, I do take the GPSs. Today is, excuse me, an even day. All right. How I work this out, left, right. That's the only GPSs you have. You don't have a center, thank goodness. So you can either do it pilot, not flying, pilot, flying. As to which one, left seat, right seat. Oh, interesting. Didn't think about that. Or odd, even. That's what I do. Odd on the left, even on the right. Anyway, however you do it, click one. Go back, click in. And that's your initial representation. Now you see everything going, oh, thank you so much flying with Mike, Captain. We love you to death. We're going to go ahead and align now. All right, and there you go. Then you just go to route. Oh, look at that. It's already got that one there for you. KMEM, Mike Echo Mike. We are FDX811. That is my call sign with FedEx. And then we go to the next page. And it's just so hard, folks. If you didn't pay attention to the route, let me put it in here one more time for you in the chat. I got a lot of typing to do, folks. Oh my goodness. I should have put this in there. Oh my gosh. I'm going to get carpal tunnel. Oh Lord. TALLO. Boink. Oh. Yeah, I got carpal tunnel after that, folks. I just activated it. Oh. That was a tough one. So, again, a 280 mile. Now, Grant, okay, Europeans, I'm about to make fun of you. Just be aware. Had I been in Europe, that might have been 2 pages worth of fixes to put in here in Airways. I don't get it, but that's the way it is over there. Sometimes you shake your head. I'm doing what? To get there? Don't tell me it's not true, guys. All right, so the route's in here, folks. However, we're not completely in yet. Let's get our departure in here. We said runway 20. Okay, we'll play. Easy enough to change. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to pull up charts. Let me let you all see here. This is what you can download to your desktop as an app to run on it. Sorry for the sniffles there, folks. Oh, let's get it in here real quick. There we go, and there we go. We have a departure. Let's take a look at that, Sid. And basically telling us runway heading out to one of these fixes. And none of them are the ones we're using. So, you know, we'll follow it to a point, but we're not going to, I don't even know if I clicked it. Yeah, there are none. So it's just basically a vector. You come out on heading 202 and then you turn. Our big threat, of course, is east of the field. A lot of high country out there. Look at your minimum safe, 78, 9,000 and so forth. This way, 4,600. appears to be pretty standard in our general direction of flight because we're coming out of the Appalachian Mountains. So let's put that into the route. And I'm going to go to legs, vectors, and then we're just going to clean it up by clicking TALLO, putting it in that open box. That got rid of the discontinuity. Now, bear with me a second here, folks. And you're not seeing any of that because that man behind the curtain just can't get it right. Let's see something. Is that far enough? Nope, not yet. All right. For the most part, that'll work. Okay, so we're going to come up here, take our switch here to plan. Folks, there really isn't much to show yet in the plan because all it is to TALLO. So let's put the VATS 3 in. What do you say? Can't do it. All right. Well, we're not going to be able to look at it at the same time. All right, hang on a second. Do my best here, folks. Can't guarantee my best is going to be best enough, but we'll work it as best we can. Well, you know what I could do? Here, let me just fire. Oh, no, that's even worse. Never mind. I was going to fire up the other FMC. And the only critique I have of this plane, and whether he listens or not, it won't affect me. I can't pop these windows out. I can't put this over here and so forth like you can mini airplanes. That's my only problem with it. And folks, if that's my only problem with it, hang on, give me a tissue. I'll wipe the tear out of my eye and continue on because, folks, this is such a great airplane. All right, we're going to do the best we can. I'm going to kind of try to zoom in, hoping for the best here, praying for it to even work. So let's click departure arrival, Memphis. Okay, now they planned us 18 Charlie ILS on the VATS 3 arrival. TALLO. Okay. Let me see. I'm going to do a real quick check here on charts. Yeah, we got it. Okay, so here is what I'm talking about. Here is Memphis, where we're going. Guess what, folks? You can do this too. Go to the D-ATIS site. Let me see if I can bring that in here. Bear with me 1 second. I think I can. I think I can. I think I lost it. Oh, there it is. I found it. All right. There you go. Just as it says, only USA. Not because we're not doing any of this who's better than the other. No. The Europeans, the South Americans, the Africans, I don't even know if Africa has anything similar. They could. But you can find these on the internet. And what makes them so amazing, you pull that up from that link, folks. Find Memphis. Say you're coming in from Seattle and you're like, I am not able to get somewhere to come up, nor coming up, folks, cross the pond. Okay, say cross the pond is in play. They take up all those servers and you're not able, and that server blows. You're not going to get the ATIS. Can here. And it's the real world. So now you have an idea idea what they're doing. For instance, say you're going to Atlanta, east or west operations, MCO, north or south. You got that, so you at least know you have this direction to work with. So like in our case, we know we have the south, north-south runways. So great site, datus.cloud.io. Highly recommend it. datus.cloud.io in the chat room for you. So really, really, really can't stress that site enough to help you out to get yourself, because you may have to think about a change in your FMC. And you can change them, folks, en route. If I set it up and all of a sudden, Darren, I want you to land on the northwest upside down runway. Well, you could change it to it if there is such a runway. Or 27 or 9. You can do it on the fly. So, but then you'll have to rebrief yourself. If you got a crew, rebrief your crew. Okay, instead of runway 18 Charlie, we're now going to runway 9. So these are, and you go through that whole litany. Okay, so let's take a look at this. As of 1954, this is the one thing charts upsets me with. They don't give you the Z time currently. Bear with me 1 second, I'll have it. SimBrief has it real easy to find. 2049. Okay. We can get rid of that page. All right. So as of, okay, we're getting ready to get a new one. But anyway, currently, they're doing visual approaches to 18 Charlie. Departures, which would make sense. They're on all 3 runways, but I'll bet you they're preferring, oh, the heavies will go off to Charlie. But the others may go off right and left. That's a mile apart. And then you get your taxiways closed and all of that good stuff. But the big stuff is right there. Landing 18 Charlie visual, departing all 3 runways. Okay? Really love that. That comes right in your chart program from Navgraph. Phenomenal update that occurred when they went to Charts 8. And if you don't like reading all of this blah, 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 or yada, 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 it's right up here. Departure 18, 18, 18. Arrival 18. Now, VATSIM was here, and if he had his up there, you would be able to read it. Same with these guys. So, anyway, there you got a good shot at one. And again, if this wasn't available, I'd be over on DATUS finding out. So, 18 center. Boom. And we have no transitions. Oh, wait. No, there's one more thing you can do. Let's go over here. Now, we could fly the RNAV. Or just fly the ILS. We're going to do that. And look what just happened. It brings it all together, folks. See the little purple line right here? Okay, those of you who may be color-blinded challenge, you may not see, but you'll see an off color from the whatever orange looks like to you and the green. So, and again, we're going to intercept the ILS and fly it in. All right? So, again, all of it comes together and you do your pieces. All right, so we'll execute that. We'll go back to legs. Again, remember, Chattanooga, there's our vectors off 220. Then we're going to go direct TALLO. And we're going to just click step over here. Airbus guys, you would have the arrows to work with. Step, there's TALLO. The reason being, vector is just an imaginary line that goes and goes and goes. It never stops till you finally go direct to it. Oh, you would do that, computer. I hate you when you do that. Hopefully it didn't mess up. Good. All right, so I'm in too far. There we go. All right. Step over to fashion. Let's follow along, shall we? Can do that. Tallow to fashion, 29,000 below, or I'm sorry, 290 above 24,000. Cram above 29, I'm sorry, above below 23,000. 290. That'll be next. Advance. Okay, and that'll be 280 dash da 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 da. 16 to 14,000. And basically what you're really looking for here is you're not missing any fixes. It really sucks when you got to start adding them because those controllers love those fixes because it gives them something to challenge you with, especially the pilot not prepared. All right, so La Rue, then Flandre. Oh, we're at the bottom. Hang on. Step. Susie, Mibu, Heydu, everything's look Hadzo. And then Hexen. See how you don't see anything screwing off there. And I mean, folks, you'll know when when something didn't get entered, like you had to go from ABC through Jetway 4 to DEF, direct Hopkin, direct this, Jetway 2 to this. You'll all of a sudden look at your flight plan that should only be 280 miles and it'll say 2,081 miles. You typed something wrong and you got to go in and find it. And that's what this is really good when you do this. And you can make sure the star and the arrival line up correctly. Hexen. Oh, helps to be up there. Okay. Vectors. As you can see, we continue north on vectors. Remember, folks, it's a super hub for FedEx. So you're not the only one out there, pumpkin. You got like 700 others potentially coming in. This ramp has got an enormous amount of traffic. Thankfully, Northwest is no longer hub there. Oh wait, Northwest is no longer an airline. Delta has them, and they no longer fly the sheer volume they had also. So that's one benefit, but you've still got in the real world a sheer amount of traffic coming in here. Okay, so you would vector up until you come around. Then we get to the ILS. We start at Laurie, right there. Jaldo, and onto the runway. Okay, so everything looks great. Oof, I love it. Love it when a plan comes together. All right, now, and yes, intentionally went long there. And we had a commercial break, so that didn't help. All right, so let's continue on. We've got that all done. Get back down here to the FMC. We're nowhere near done with it yet, folks. All right, and I'm going to boot a program up here real quick, just on the outside chance that takeoff information isn't available. Let me find my 737. There it is. Weight and balance. And do that. Now we'll back it down. There we go. That's close enough there. And I don't care up there. Fuel. It's my cheat sheet. All right, fuel is gonna be 13. Okay, 500 pounds to taxi. And en route fuel, real quick. 5,080. You'll understand what all I was doing here. Probably should have showed it to you. 5,080. All right, so we're all loaded in minus all that garbage. All right, don't really care about it, as you can tell. All right, so we're ready to press on. So let's go back to route. Now you could click route copy now. I mean, why not? Complete. Okay, so let's go to initial or finish. We put on 13.0, correct? Yes. Well, yeah, 13.0. You could have rounded it up, but it doesn't matter. And they match. Whoopee. Okay, say 116. That looks good. Our estimated reserves. Okay, Sim Toolkit. We talk about this a lot, folks, but seeing it is the easiest way to understand it. Sim brief. And view. Okay, so there's where I got my burn from. All right, but let's come down here a little bit. We'll see how to read this briefing preview. Okay, boom. All right, there's your basic information, your destination, all that good stuff, cruise, your CI, all of that, which we keep that in the back of your mind, 35. There's our distance, there's our air distance, averaged winds as of the release at, where's it at, 1900? No. The release time's up there somewhere. Your max, your mins, and all of that good stuff on weight, but here's the fuel. All right, and if you come down to the bottom half here, first off, there's your release fuel. So that's what they're going to load in your wings, or possibly center tanks, depending where you're going. And then down here for your FMC, you can either do final reserve plus your alternate. That's what I do. Final reserve, folks, is 45 minutes in the US, plus getting to your alternate, which is Nashville in our case. In this case, it's a 43-minute flight. Our trip is 10 minutes longer. So, you know, I probably would have tried like Little Rock, but it probably is not far off. Anyway, being that we chose Nashville, so to do our 45 minutes plus what it takes to get to Nashville, it's 7,029 pounds of fuel. In the military world, folks, those of you familiar with it, that's your joker fuel. Okay. At that point, you can make all of what you need. Bingo, you're in trouble. so what we'll enter, though, will be 7.0. So we basically drop off those last two and put a decimal in. Okay? Get it? Got it? If you got it, get it. 7.0. Cost index, did anyone remember? I forgot. No, I didn't. And look at this. It's saying 28,000. That's what it's recommending for us. SimBrief said 34. I'm going to go with this one. Just because I got a feeling it's more closer. However, is that the right altitude? Pilots in the audience, is that the right altitude for direction of flight? Da, 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 da. And do not form it in a question. Okay, none of you were paying attention, so it is even when you're going east. It is correct. Cruise winds, we got that from SimBrief as well. I don't expect that on your test question. 251 at 34. 251 at 34. The at here is just a diagonal. Do not know how to fill these in, so I leave it. Your transition level, we make it so easy in the United States, in Canada, in Mexico, Alaska, 18,000 feet. And we got a steep descent, it's saying now, by the way. the star is. We'll see how that translates out as we go. Any changes we make, we'll get that. All right. Now, the little oh, wait, you didn't see any of that? All right, we'll back up. All right, so we filled in our weight. Just got to click here, put our 7.0, put our cost index in here.
Dive.
And our dispatcher is on deck. Welcome aboard, Bad Attitude.
Dive.
And that's exactly what we'll do at Merby. Sim Brief told us 34,000. I told you here for our cruise. Well, we're going to go with what the FMC says, 28. Yeah, I'm a dispatcher's nightmare. 251 at 34. That's our cruise wins. I don't know the information here. Permission to ride jump seat? Yeah, go right ahead. Would love have you jump seat. Actually, we got plenty of room for you in the cargo bay. You know, I hear there's a huge party that always goes on back there. We got to keep them in line. Welcome in, Bad Attitude. Transitions 18,000. Now, all of that stuff you heard me talking about, folks, getting that other program going, we're hoping we won't have to. We're going to try something. Let's do it. Let's go back over to the EFB. Go to, I was on the right one. Doggone it. Hang on. Here. Let's go to performance. Runway 20. Wind, we'll call it 22. Correction. 00 at 3. Actually, let's see if there is an updated wind here. I'm just going to Sky Vector for it, folks. Still variable. Okay. Temperature here ought to be really nice, folks. It's up in the mountainous areas here. Temperature 21 degrees. A little warm. And the altimeter 3011. Now, to put that in, just go 30.11. And there it is in inches of mercury. Okay, it's not looking like it's playing nicely with us. Takeoff weight estimated 128 decimal. Let's call it 129. CG. Okay, that's where we're thrown. Hang on a second. Where's my program? There it is. CG for the flight, we'll call it 27.6. And what we were looking for was one of those triangles here to go forward. It is still not in here. Oh well. It is what it is. However, if you get a little piece of payware out there, folks, called Top Cat, you'll at least get some takeoff number. Yeah, the landing I do know works there, Bad Attitude. Yes, you know, I just updated to the latest 4.4 they have there, available for me at least. And fingers were crossed, and it went like I thought it would. All right, so Top Cat. I'm going to try to make the FMC a little more visible. Okay. Again, it's not a free program. Strike that. You have to pay for it, or you can bundle it with Professional Flight Planner. A good flight planning program, just very difficult to incorporate into SimBrief and Volanta. Anyway. With it, though, we can get takeoff information. Now, granted, this is set up for PMDG. I don't think there's a ZIBO performance specced out plane for them. But believe it or not, the numbers do get very close. Folks, a 737, I don't care if it's PMDG, I don't care if it's ZIBO, it's still a Boeing 737, and the developers should get them as close as they can to what Boeing says they should do, right? But you're paying a lot of money for it over in the other sim. It should. Okay, we're free over here, so it could come in light. But anyway, so here we go. Okay, so we filled in all of the information here. It's all filled in, minus I didn't go this far, folks. We're not worried about up here. Here's where I got my CG information right here. And then we go to the takeoff page. Now, had I put that in over there, I wouldn't have to do it here, but we'll just go KCHA, runway 20, and we're going to hit update for the weather, bringing in the latest and greatest weather. Technically, I could have gone off the other way, but we'll go with how SimBrief did. And again, 1019 or 3008. A little different here than, I wonder if we just had an update. Let me check something. I think we just had an update. That's why. Hang on. Yeah, it hasn't updated yet on SkyVector, but we got the latest, greatest here in TopCat. Don't know how that works, folks. It is what it is. All right, so there's our takeoff weight. That's pretty close. And we'll go with it. Air conditioning. I guess we'll keep those passengers, all that cargo comfortable with the air conditioning back there. Anti-ice, not needed. Here's your runway particulars, 7,400 foot runway, 202, runway 20. So all we do, now if for some reason the runways are shortened, you can put that in here in feet. If you have a MEL, malfunction, there are none that you can select for this one. Some of the aircraft, they have gone in and really built this up so you can put those in, increasing, decreasing, whatever your abilities. And then click compute, and we just wait, and there we go. All right, so on this runway, we can derate. Will be first. I'll just highlight it here. 46 degrees. Takeoff 2. So let's just go in order. Takeoff 2. Put up here for your select 4, 6. Boom. Now the climb, it really doesn't tell you. It just says climb, which would be this one. I'm going to save my engines just a tad since I did back us down 6,000 feet in the climb and save the wear and tear on them. So we'll keep it at climb 2. And then we'll go to takeoff. Go ahead, put the CG, that's already it's not in there. Oh, that's nice. 27 point, what did we say? 6. Yeah, 6. Don't know why it didn't load. Usually when you click right here, folks, it puts it right over. There have been a couple times here of late it has not. You hit refresh. There we go. And hopefully that doesn't really screw things up. Now, streamers, I'm talking to you, other pilots who don't go to page 2. Go to page 2 once. It's not a hard page to work with, especially in this situation. Your winds are calm. You don't have to put a wind in. Your runway slope, it's right there. It's also in Sim Toolkit. It's you, and thank you, Bad Attitude, for pointing that out, how to put this in there. Plus is up, minus is down. And all you got to use is the first letter. So U 0.2. Diagonal. 202 for the runway. Boom. What you did is you just fine-tuned it a little bit more. Is it dry, wet, or contaminated? There's your select temperature. There's the outside air temperature. We're off by about 2 degrees, so, you know, we're not too bad. And you can mess with this if you want. I leave it. And then go to the next page. You're back where you started. Flaps 5. All right, so there you go, folks. It's giving you a trim setting of 4.75. Your N1, instead of being, well, in this case, as you see it in Top Cat, it would have been around 93% or 93 degrees. I'm sorry, 93% is the right words. You've derated. You've pulled back to 87.5. Instead of mashing hard on it and wearing and tearing those parts ever so little bit, folks, every little bit on those $1 million engines. And the fact it's those $1 million engines you hope to keep you afloat in the air, you take advantage of. All right, so we came up with 134, 134, 138. It came up with 133 for V1, 134, 138. I'm going to go with theirs. 133. Boom. 134, 138. There you go, folks. How much extra time did that take, guys, that don't go to that second page? I know. Wipe the sweat from your brow. It was rough. Really, try it out, folks. It's a really great page to go to. Okay. It, like I said, it just fine-tunes you a little bit more. Does it mean you're going to get more true on the runway? Well, you never know. Try it out. So, all right. So let's get the plane in the air now. We've spent almost an hour, a little over an hour on the ground. Can you recommend a freeware software? Of course you can, Bad Attitude. I always love free, to some degree. All right, heading over here, we'll get this one set on progress. Go back. Oh, went one too high. Sorry, folks. We said 202. Uh, 138, so I will go 148. I always go V2 plus 10 in my IAS setting. And a quick look at charts real quick. Oop, I didn't click it for you all to see. What we're going to be looking for is the departure. Back to here. Chattanooga 8. This is the Chattanooga choo-choo. All right, and seeing if there's any top altitudes. Now, they're calling 5,000. So, if we have an ATC up, 5,000 will be our top until they tell us you're cleared to 28,000. We'll have to amend our flight plan, don't worry. All right, we're ready to go, folks. We got just a couple more things to do here. And let's see here, checklist-wise. All right, so flight directors on. That's always a good sign this plane's ready to go. Auto throttles off, airspeed set, altitude. Right now we'll go 5,000. Be ready to go to 28 after that. And what did we say? The altimeter was 3008. All right, 3008. If you notice, it's setting over here. Radar, Not Radar O'Reilly, folks. We'll set it 400. Okay. Arrow, if you want to set it, folks, feel free to. You're already 600 up, so if you go to 1,000, you're good. All right, I'm going to switch it back to radio. There we go. All right, I think we're ready to go, except I need to check one thing before we crank it up. Okay, in Memphis. And flight plan. Flight planned route TALLO Vents 3. Downlink. I'm just getting my ACARS program running for our friends at FedEx Express Virtual. We're up and going there. And lastly, I always like to do that double check that says, hey, he is actually on. Chattanooga choo-choo coming to Memphis. Ooh, I have to read that. I just got a message from Twitch. Okay. All right. I'll have to read how to do drops. All right. So we are moments away. So we've got our minimum set landing gear levers down, 3 green spoilers down, flaps up, and 0 and 0. Start lever engines. There's our configuration check, and our levers are in cutoff. Stab trims are set, and parking brake, and we are ready to call for a pushback. Actually, we're almost. Let's get over here. Back, back, round, air stair, doors. Is Sim Toolkit up and running? Oh, yes. I guess I can tell you all where we're at and where we're going. All right, there we go. Yes, it is. We don't have an ETE yet because we're not in the air yet. There you go, folks. Latest and greatest weather out of here. Get those engines, get the door closed. And we are ready to go. Well, hurry up and get in the air. Yeah, I know. I've been going here for about an hour and 15 minutes, so we're getting ready to push her back. Here we go. One last check. Yep, we're online. Better push back.
Round to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
Let's do it the easy way.
Round to cockpit. Taylor's driving up.
All right. So, folks, we're ready to start. and push back. So checklist calls for electric, what do we got? Electric hydraulic pump system B on. Fuel pumps, guess what? Yeah, it would help to have fuel. And we're going to come down now to 29,000 on our pressurization system. Any collision on, that always freaks me out, folks, because it used to be called a rotating beacon. Now, because any collision when I flew were your strobes. It changed.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Cleared to connect. All right, auto throttle will leave off at the moment. When we're pushing, we'll switch into the packs. Actually, we're going to turn them off. Make sure you get enough pressure. AP still running. Yep. We have our pressure, and we are even day, so we're on the right side here for igniters. Beacons on. She's ready. We're ready.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Brakes off.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Hey, cranking them up. We're waiting for 17 to 25. Anywhere in between there, you can move that fuel switch up to idle. And then you'll get your fuel and you'll see your EGT climbing. Good start. Do the same thing for the next one once we get the valve closed and stable. Okay, it appears to be stable. Next one. And again, same thing, 17 to 25 on N2. There we go. She's lit off. Is that quick enough for you there, Bad Attitude? All right, there we go, folks. We're still pushing. And, all right, so...
Operation complete. Go ahead and set the parking brake. Disconnecting tow.
Hey,
Stand
brake
by.
set. Engine gens to on. Okay. We'll come back to that. System A, hydraulics on. Heato heats on. Let's go to our AC/DC switch, and Otto and Hawker gets to play his music again. Get that while we're here. They're cleared to disconnect. And we'll get our packs running again. All right, and sure that light's on. AP off. All right, we're just
Tow
about
is
ready.
disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time, and have a safe flight.
Thanks for flying with Captain Mike at Flying with Mike. Got the pins. Quick blast of the taxi light. Alright. Real quick, I'm just getting set up here in VATSIM. Alright, we're connected. Alright, and we are raring and ready to go. Alright, final checks. APU is spooled down. Flaps 5. One more. Auto brakes will set to reject. Runway turnoffs. ATCTC. Dun 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 dun. Set and heading bug set. We are ready to taxi. I hope. Go. And we'll get that lighting adjusted here in a minute back there. Go to ground services, cabin lighting. Still looks the same, doesn't it? Alright, once we hit the runway, we'll have the flight attendants do their thing. But we're on our way, folks. Sorry for such a long start. Ended up being a little bit of a tutorial. Not much, but I hope you learned something from it, folks. Hopefully, we'll still be able to maybe think about that second flight. Not sure. Yeah, like I said, folks, if you want one, let me know in the chat room where you would like to go. Yeah, unfortunately, bad attitude. I still got to go all the way down 7,400 feet of runway. Take off the other way. Now, one reason, folks, I'll let you know while we're taxiing here. You don't see a lot of flights that I fly like this. About ready to show it off here. You get straightened out down the other way. Really can't see the plane at night when I go to the outside. But this would have been, well, this is what it will be in about 6 or so hours from now. The real plane hopefully won't be delayed like we were. They'll be on their way, but a lot faster. But we're on our way now. We'll take Bravo all the way over. Cross 3-3. Got nobody coming that way, and hopefully nobody to smack me that way. Okay. Been long enough. Nope, no ATC. Alright. And I am going to go ahead. Let's see if that causes trouble. And there are a handful of gates here. And no, cargo does not park down there, folks. It is FedEx's where I was. Would be nice. Would be nice if that parking lot there was for cargo. All right, let's run our takeoff checks here real quick as we get up to the ILS hold. All right, takeoff. Engine start switches continuous. Make that turn here in just a second. And Chattanooga Tower, FedEx 811, will be ready to go at the runway. Roger, FedEx 811 copies. Line up and wait, 20. Okay, final checks. Auto brake is reject takeoff. Runway turn lights are on. Strobes here in a minute. Let's go ahead and click those over.
Flight attendants, please be seated for departure.
That means the door is open. Hang on a second, folks. We'll continue. Quick taxi. Alright, here we go. Taxiing into position. Alright, lost my place. There we go. ATCT is TCAS. And we'll get the radars up and going here in a second. Oh, man, I would love to hear from a pilot. These centerline runway lights, those strobes that seem to be in it, is that real? And my second question is, how distracting is that on takeoff, or is it? All right, and ready, auto throttle armed. All right, VNav set. One thing I do want to do while we're here waiting for our clearance from Clarence. Do a quick surface check. Everything looks good. That always cracks me up there. Okay. And engine. Okay, and we are ready to go. VNav, LNav. Roger, FedEx 811 cleared for takeoff 20. Chattanooga traffic, FedEx 811 departing runway 20. There we go. Let you all see. Now that looks pretty cool, but once we get in the air, folks, you're not going to be able to see much. So that's one of the reasons I don't do it. All right, here we go. If you didn't know this, because I sure as heck didn't, thank you, Captain Mac. The mic switch is toga.
Knots. E1 rotate. Positive rate. $400.
Alright, we're going to go heading select. And I'm going to go ahead and kick on the pilot side autopilot. Okay, real quick after takeoff, autopilot or auto brakes to normal, engine starts to auto, which is an okay thing. And we're cleared to turn on course.
Thousand to go.
Oh, I tell you, the dog. Alright, we're cleared. Flight level 280, FedEx 811. Cleaning up the plane. The plane. Alright, and then we are continuing our climb out. Let's go legs, TALLO, and execute, and LNAT. Now, the reason you want to hit this timer, folks, on takeoff, many of your clearances you'll receive on clearance delivery will say initial climb like 5,000, 10 minutes after departure, flight level 280, flight level 380, whatever your ending altitude is, or whatever they want you at. So if they don't come back to you in 10 minutes on approach or center in VATSIM, you're cleared up. I would make a radio call, because VATSIM controllers get very irate when they don't tell you to do something and you do it anyway. But, you know, in theory, that's how it should work, folks. You should not have to call them. So, but we're only 5 minutes from brake release, so we're doing good here. We're right now through 10,000. Okay, and we are off and running, folks. See, can't see the aircraft. So that is one of the reasons I don't do this, folks. At night, I don't do the sim more real time, is because of that. And it's no slight against developers or sims. It's just, it is what it is, folks. It is dark outside. Alright, 12,000 feet. We're good. Lights are off. Starters are there. Flaps are retracted all the way. And we're here to cruise climb. Alright, center pumps are not being used. They are empty, as you can see right there. So we'll just keep our climb for another 10,000 or so feet. Level off, continue on, and make our descent into Memphis. Still no controllers ahead of us. You guys can see as well as I can. Again, if you'd like to see a second flight after this short hop to Memphis, let me know. We'll see what we can do. Ah, our moderator has not been here. What's this? Huh, interesting. Some of this stuff I gotta learn more about. They have a new mod out there for me. Alright, just checking, making sure who and what is in the channel. We're coming up on 18,000, folks. 18,000's when we set our altimeter 2992. Now you can do this a couple of ways. You just push the old standard button. Wait, I gotta set something here. I screwed up. I was using the wrong one. Standard. And away we go. We're through transition. I am going to go ahead and kill the wing lights. If we were a passenger flight, this would be, well, actually, this will be ground lights night. And now let's see what it looks like. Ooh, a little creepy out there. Still more light than I was expecting. But, you know, hey, that's cool. But again, thanks for flying with Mike. Glad you're aboard. If you're new to the channel, hey, I'd love you to smash that follow button. Here on Twitch, that's just going to tell us, hey, you like what you're seeing. And you, if you tip off the notifications bell there, you'll get emails letting you know when we go live. If by chance you're watching this on a YouTube replay, meaning we're taking the video from this, and folks, it's raw. It's just what we did online here. We put it into YouTube. If you're watching it there, hey, if you like it, man, we'd love you to thumbs up the video and then smash subscribe so you can be part of the already 300 members there. And we'll be back to talk with you after the break. Right, and subscribers here on Twitch, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I know a lot of you got gifted subscriptions back in October. Oh, correction. September. I'd really hope you consider continuing. I know the way the world is right now, the way the lives are. Hey, I get it. If you can't, but if you can and you really like to help support the stream, we would love it. We are currently exploring adding another aircraft or other utilities to the simulator here for you all to see in the streams. That's where the money goes. So would love for you to continue to subscribe. Donations, biddies help us out too. So those of you coming back from the break, thank you for your following. To me, that's, a huge part of our stream that just says to me, thank you, you're following. You catch us as much as you can. We love it. Thank you so much. And look forward to flying again. Now, we do have kind of begun to set the stream, if you want to call it, rebranded slightly in the direction of the Fearless 747. You're going to see a lot more flights with it. Not to say this little guy's going to sneak in here from time to time along with the TOLLOS and the Flight Factor aircraft we have. Maybe even that corporate Speed Demon Citation 10. So don't think we've thrown those to the trash can. They're still there. They're up and flying. Heck, we almost flew the 727 today, folks. That was, as I said in the beginning, we were flipping a coin. We really were torn. 737, or do we go retro and go with the 727? So, but we're going to kind of shift into where we get more proficient with the Queen of the Skies, the 747-200 from Fearless. So, just so you know that, don't be surprised if you probably see it once every week, or at the worst every 2 weeks. So just about every VA I belong to, that's an option to fly. So we're going to take advantage of that, if so to speak. All right, well, enough of all that great stuff of following and subscribing. Let's get into the arrival brief, folks. Look what's right ahead at 45 miles-ish. That's right, our arrival. Now, you've seen it. We've been through it already once, but you know what? It always, is always good to get it back in our minds. So, without further ado, I am going to use the charts program just because it does not eat up the whole screen. And you all still get the information we need. First thing we need, though, let's get charts off here for a minute. Oop, not flight sim. Oh my gosh. Wrong. There we go. Hallelujah. All right, over here. Where the heck did I... Uh-oh, did it turn it off? Where'd my EFB go? Ruh-roh, Batman. We're on the other side? Out of curiosity? Whew. Thought we lost you. Why did we lose you over here? Did I click the X without knowing it? All right, bear with me, folks, as I work my way over to it. Like I said, welcome to live. Sometimes it does feel like comedy. Alright, and METAR KMEM. There we go. Alright, so let's start filling it in. 18 Charlie. Alright, we may not be able to get to use this. Doggone it. What did can I... Anything like, how did I get rid of it? More importantly, how do I get it back? Huh. I somehow got rid of it, folks, and I don't know how. Alright, well, kind of stinks. Well, we'll use Topcat. Just kind of changing gears here, folks, because we can use it for landing as well. Topcat, by the way, stands. Oh, got every other utility on my screen but the one I want. There we go. Topcat stands for Takeoff and Landing Performance Calculation Tool. I know, a little bit of a stretch to get Topcat, but they get it. So we're going to go to the landing function now. Okay, our estimated landing weight is, wrong one, the sim brief. Estimated landing weight 123.9er. Okay. 123. Let's try get. Let's just do, well, we'll just keep it there because that could be. We're coming in flaps 30 and we're KMEM. KMEM. Update. Okay, as you saw, 220 at 9. 25 degrees, 2998. All right. Flaps 30. We'll keep the air conditioning on. No anti-ice needed. Landing. We're going to set it to auto land. Not that we're going to auto land. I do that so I think if I got it manual. No, I still get those. Okay. I lose, I think, one of the features over here, but we're not going to play with it to find out. Okay, so 180 is our heading. It's an 11,000 foot runway. Usually it's the left or the right you come in on. So that's how that works. I need a cup of coffee, stand by. Filling it up right now. And real quick before I go on, I have had questions, direct messages and all saying, are you flying across the pond? No. And if that was too blunt, sorry. No, not going to do it, folks. I'm pretty sure I'm working that day, so that kind of throws it out. But no, we won't fly across the pond. Hope you guys do, though, too. It is fun. All right, so here we go. So I put all my information in, 18 Charlie, 220 at 9, 25, and so forth. All right, so I'm going to go with braking at auto brake 2. We're not going to cram, you know, if we were a passenger flight, throw you into the person in front of you with the brakes. So what does that yield us? First, it yields a reference speed, 137. Approach speed usually is about 10 knots faster, so call it 146 in this case, but 147 is not going to be overly too bad. And then we're going to need a distance on the runway of 7,900 feet at auto brake 2. Now, if I want to slam on the brakes, I can watch. We'll up it. You'll see that number come down. 7,900 feet, 6,300 feet, half the runway roughly. So, you know what? We'll just keep it there. The cargo, it ain't going anywhere. All right, so we just crossed TALLO. We are now beginning the approach. So we now know that's our approach speed, 146. Real quick, charts. Kind of go through this pretty quick. We already did this once, but we're going to do it again. D-ATIS means you could go and look that up, folks, and find out what they're really doing in the real world. 341 is the altitude of the airport. RNAV DME for this, GPS IRUs, transition 18,000 and some other designations here. Only jets will be found on this. If you're flying a puddle jumper, you shouldn't be on the Vance 3. All right, so routing. Here we go. So we're going from TALLO to Fashion. Top of descent now standing probably about 50 miles ahead of us. So we're going to get on that here real quick. We're going to go to Fashion, be it above 24,290. Folks, key on those two letters. There's a great video out there of ATC and a JetBlue plane discussing the word at, because he was not at the speed. So, but really, folks, chart says it, you should be at it, not what, oh, I think the airplane should be, well, I'm not going faster. So, that might have actually been said in it, come to think of it. Anyway, so then we press on to cram, again, 290 at 290 knots, below 23,000. So this is our first one, folks. We need to set 24,000 in our computer here in a minute. From cram, we go to VADS, which is at 280 and below 23,000. MASH at 280 again, 14 to 16,000. Then we go through Holly Springs VOR to LaRue, 250 at between 10 and 12,000. So even if we're at 12,000, it's 250 knots, folks. 11,000 to 9,000 Fond, we're still at 250. Susie, no remarks. BB at 210, folks. We're in the sequencing process for the runway, so they're beginning the spacing. 10,000 to 8,000, Hadso 8,000 to 6, Texan at 3,000, and that's where the vectors start or turn for the localizer if you're on VATSIM. Well, ATC would have you if you're in the real world anyway. They always have you. Finally, ILS charts. I know some of you are in training, so I leave this up a little bit. But really, real quick, across top, these are the frequencies you could come across, depending which runways, depending how you're coming in, so forth. Ours, 111.95 ISDU. We got to set 180. I'm going to go ahead and put that in right now. And we will try to do this as much visual, meaning not on this ILS, but you know, we have to do what we can until we see the runway. LaRue or Laurie, 13 miles out's our initial fix. Jaldo, as you look up here, Jaldo is 2,000 feet, 1,710 feet above the ground on glide slope, folks. Decision altitude 657 MSL, 367 AGL. We can set that up here as well. We'll do that momentarily. In our descent, should we go missed, here's the procedure. Not mistaken, nope, it's not. We do make a turn to 151, track the 151 off Memphis out to KCHA, 10 miles away, go into a hold. Alright, LaRue, 3,000 feet, descending to 2,000, again on glide slope at Jaldo. Track it down, missed approach point. Says right here, but it's actually way down here, but it doesn't really tell you where. However, since we're going to be coming in at about, what did we say, folks? Stand by. 145 mile an hour, or knots, mile an hour. We'll plan on about 743 feet per minute if the glide slopes out. 2 minutes 14 seconds down the from Jaldo to the missed approach. After 214, if you don't see that runway, folks, you better be in the execution of a missed approach. Malzer, 900 feet, hang a left 5,000 feet, and intercept 151 to KCHA. Guess what? That's your missed approach. Minimums It's 367, folks. Not your normal 200. And your RVR has to be 40. You're flying right over FedEx, folks. And 3/4 of a mile. Okay, we did that kind of quick because guess what? It's top of descent time. Bear with me a second here. We said 23,000. That ding was our cue. Alright, let me see how we look here. Cool. Technically, you really don't need the EFB, but it's always nice to have. Let's go to a knit. Coming in right there, over to here. So again, 138 they're calling at 30 at this moment while we're here. Let's go and get our ILS set up. The radio will be 119 or 111 95. Okay, and then we're gonna set 17.5 so we know Memphis here. Whatever. 11750. Put that up here. 1195. And the reason why I have two is if we should have to go Cat 2 or 3, got to have them both up there. All right, top of descent right in front of us, folks. We're looking at 8 miles. So what we can do here. Okay, now I've got the FMC set up here a little different than you're used to. Set up with the VNAV page. So just click next page. Descend now. And execute. And down we go. Alright, and we have begun our descent into Memphis. Told you folks, short flight. Short, short, short indeed. Alright, checklist time. You know there has to be a checklist. So we got the descent started. Engine switches. Take them to continues again. Get those igniters in continuous. Fasten seatbelt comes on at 15,000. Sorry, I'm going to be mean to the cargo. It's on now. Get your butts in those seats. Landing lights at 10,000. Transitions 18,000. And then we'll press on for the runway. Okay. Couple things for you to see on the instrumentation. Airbus, you don't get this little lovely gauge here. What is this gauge? That is your vertical deviation in your planned. Okay, I want to be at 23,000. So it's your deviation. Is it going to lower you or raise you? And it's done automatically. This gauge is represented here like a glide slope. See how it is? Airbus guys, you will see this only as a round circle dot. As long as it's in between the numbers on your PFD, you're great. Outside of it, you'll have to adjust or it will adjust to it. Now, some of the great stuff Airbus has on it, little squiggly line to tell you when you're on that profile. We don't have that on Boeing. However, Boeing gives us this nice arc, so does Airbus, in the form of hockey sticks to where it expects to hit 23,000 feet. Now, I am going to continue it on once we get a little closer to cram here. Actually, I'm going to back us out one notch, increase us one notch over here. So that we can continue our descent to make MASH at or around 14. We're going to level off, so we'll show you how to initiate it at that point. All right, 23,000 at cram. Now, got to be at 290, remember? Where are we at? Well, we're set 280. So, click the CO button. Intervene button, my bad. Bump it up to 290, folks. That's what the SID says. So if your airplane's doing it wrong, either set the FMC right or change it. We're going to get down to 14,000 now. That's our next minimum. Okay. Now, to make it descend from here, you've got speed intervention, and it's way low, so it's going to kick that nose down to catch up to that profile. In a minute here, it's going to show you with the bar where that's going to be. Would love for it to be right on MASH. We're very close. That's perfect. Once we cross MASH, Holly Springs doesn't have anything but Laurie. So we'll have, I think it's 18 miles to get to 10,000 feet. And that is where I want to be. Also, I want to keep making sure my heading is right. In case this thing all of a sudden goes the wrong way, punch that heading, select, and you're on that heading. Oh, we're going to have to steepen it, it looks like. Oh, it's... Well, we're good. Because as long as we can come across at 16,000, I'm okay with it. We got a little bit of wiggle room to get her down to 3,000 by here. Here comes 18. Memphis currently 2998. Now, I love Boeing for this. 2998. I can preset this, so when we hit transition, all I got to do is push standard, and it goes to that. Don't know how to do that yet with the A320 and A319 jet. And I think the easy answer on that, folks, is you can't. All right, folks, again, thank you for being a part of Flying with Mike. Oh, we just went through transition. Blink. And wing lights will stay off for now. Let me get over here. Sorry for all the bouncing around. Because that loose nut behind the wheel somehow got rid of the EFB, and I don't know how he did that. But he did it. Alright, I don't know how I did that, folks. I really don't. But I'm very mad at myself. Try it on the ground to fix it. But, oh well, it is what it is. Can't cry over the spilled milk now. I'll have the jump seater write it up. Mouse stole EFB. I know they'll put in installed cat. Alright, now that I don't like seeing. It held our descent up. All right, we're coming down to 8,000 now. Now, how you can change and make sure this is in profile, because now we need to be 280. It's very simple. I'm here. You come down to the FMC, go to legs. Okay, LaRue, 250, 10,000 feet. That's what I'm going to set it for. So, type it in, 250 slash 10,000 feet and click this one. That just changed it, folks. Now I need to slide over to hit the execute button. Steep descent. Yeah, I know, but you're gonna do it. Okay, and also, as you can see, I need to get my heading squared away. But you never know when ATC is gonna want you. By the way, that's Memphis. Now that is the one advantage. I will give you guys that fly real world times. That's the advantage. I've got a visual approach. Boom, I'm good to go. That is perfect. Daytime, not a chance in you know where I would see that. Unless I really, really, really knew where I was looking and what to look for. Okay, do we make the 12? Yes. Okay, we're gonna set for 8,000 or 9,000 Flond. Okay, and then BB, which is like, I see here. Let me get in here on it. Right here, I think, is maybe. That is going to be our 8,000 foot mark. Okay, 250. Okay. We are going to need some speed brakes now, folks. Not speed racer, speed brakes. Go, speed racer. So, folks, you know, I've been remiss the whole 2 hours we've been on stream, I believe it is,
1,000 to go.
in asking how your week's gone. I hope it's been well. And I'm also thankful that you're all here with Flying with Mike today, taking a little time out of your busy schedules to come visit with us. All right, let's get our ILS pulled up here now. Boink. Okay. And you make that's, by the way, Memphis again, folks. Very frustrated I killed the EFB and I don't know how I did it. That's okay. Things happen. Alright, got that set. Dial you down a notch. Okay. And 8,000 now. From here, I'm going to set for. And again, folks, it will not descend to 3,000 immediately. It's going to work with what you got programmed. So in this case, we still got HADSO 6 to 8,000. We just crossed 8,000, so guess what? We're cool. But we now got to be at 210. Which could mean a flap extension. We'll see. Alright, and I am going to let you all see the airport. Alright, here we go, folks, and we're just about there to 210. HADSO coming up under 8,000. That I don't like. I wish it would go to the in-between altitudes it's set for.
Memphis traffic, Jet USA 37 departing runway 18, set to Bravo departure, and on the southbound departure from Memphis.
Okay, so we got traffic. I'm not too worried yet calling in. We're not headed for the ILS as of yet. Got to get up here to Hexen. 3,000, then we'll turn in. So we're not even close yet. Although, can make the turn in and keep our descent going. And that'll give him time to clear out. But again, hope you all have had a great week. Hey, we're halfway there, folks, to the weekend. So really hope you all enjoy, and hope you've enjoyed the short flight from Choo Choo over to Memphis. I am got a hard altitude here. Okay. Alright, so it should have been descending. It's trying. Okay, we're not yet lined up with Laurie to where we could make that turn and just come right in on the ILS. But we have it showing up here, ISDVU 180. We don't have the DME. I don't know if it has one. I'm pretty sure it does. And once we're a beam, I'm going to make the turn. Alright, it'll be... Matter of fact, I'll knock down a notch here. Weather radar set up on terrain there. Okay, we're getting just about a beam. Let's do it. 270. Okay, I'm going to switch over to my ILS chart, making sure we don't have any directions saying to slow at this far out. Alright, I am going to slow to 180. Okay, I do have the localizer alive.
1,000 to go.
Okay, and you can see the glide path coming up. We're matched at 3,000. And got us a good intercept. Yeah, 225 is a good
1,000 to go.
approach. All right, and there we go, folks. We're locked in 180, first 2 notches of flaps. Memphis in the distance, folks. Again, you may or may not see that
Thousand
in
go.
any sim this far out. Laps 5.
Thousand to go.
All right, we're going to slow to 146. Getting ready to engage the landing gear. Don't have a DME on it. However, we do have a DME. We're at least 14 miles from the VOR, so and it is beyond the runway. So runway is the center one, right where my mouse is. Right, left. Kind of shocked they don't have the left for landing. All right, we'll make our first call. Memphis traffic, FedEx 811. We are approximately 8-mile final for 18 Center ILS. Let's get some more flaps in gear. Going flaps 15, arming up the spoilers. Okay, spoilers armed. Just about on glide slope. Flaps 25. Jaldu is still probably about 5 miles ahead of us, folks. Go flaps 30. Double check everything. Lights. We did not get the lights on. Add pilot. 3 green. Flaps 30. Brake set 2. Spoilers armed. We're ready for landing. Flight attendants, buckle up. All right, here we come, folks. Still ETC Jaldo 7-mile final. All right, so I called us a little early. All right, if we would to start the timer. 2 minutes, 14 seconds till we have to see the run. Guess what? I see the runway. We're going visual. Kill the timer. Okay. Airplane.
1,000 feet stabilized, Mr. Birch, altitude set.
Memphis traffic, FedEx 811. 3-mile final, 18 center. Oh, look at all those shiny bright lights. See what I mean? You're flying over the park. You're over the where the aircraft park, folks.
Approaching minimums. 4 on minimum. 300.
Okay, stabilized landing.
200. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Knots.
All right, we will turn left up here. Welcome to Memphis, folks. Welcome in, welcome one all. FedEx arrival, middle of the night. No. All right, we'll take the parallel in between. And Memphis traffic, last call. FedEx 811's off 18 Charlie to FedEx. Alright, I'm just switching charts here so I can figure out how I want to get into FedEx. We're going to go straight ahead. I think we're going to park in the open area. Was thinking about bringing it up to the building. I still might. See. Maybe that first pier that comes out. Got to get across the runways though. But there you are, folks. Welcome to FedEx. Now, I will tell you, and I can already tell you, Hawker, when you ask, it's true. They still haven't fixed the scenery here. There are floating pieces of scenery all over the place. Right there's one. There's another, and so forth. Crossing thing. Crossing a run. So, yeah, they're still floating here. I wonder if there's a Memphis scenery out there. I know there's a really good one, or one that I use for X-Plane 11. Let's do this. Let's go ahead, turn off the exterior lights. And And believe it or not, folks, that is a road. That is an interstate. If no, the interstate's north of here. Never mind. I thought it was an interstate. I forgot. That's not the interstate. All right, and here. That hold bar up ahead. There it is, 927. That's the big FedEx run. But a lot of them do still come in as prescribed by the ATIS, in this case 18 Charlie, otherwise called Center. Alright, let's get the APU on, just get that weather radar off as we're getting people. That terrain radar off. Get to go jog to the left here. Auto brakes off. Finally, app. Hopefully it's fired up because I'm going to head to the first pier, park in the back of it, as I'll call it. That pier is right here. I'll park probably right down here in the alley somewhere. Keep it on here until we turn this one. Alright, brakes set up. They are. Okay, the APU is spooled up, so generators. Get you on the bleed. Alright, real quick for shutdown. Probe heat can be turned off. Stave trim to 4 units. I don't know for that. I'm not too far off. There we go. APU's on position. Weather and radars are off. Parking brake set. APU generators on. Parking brake set again. And fasten seatbelts we can turn off, but the cargo isn't going to go anywhere, so it really doesn't matter. And let's kill the engines. All right, welcome to Memphis, folks. That was a fun short flight. Now we'll just get this set to 0. All right, and hope you enjoyed. Forget your APU. That's bad attitudes, and that's what's garbage. I have no idea what's garbage there, Mr. Hawker. All right, and bad attitude. I see you asked a question about realizing something while we finish up here. Wow, center came up, by the way. Didn't know that. They must have just came up. Oh, what about the scenery here in Memphis there? I know I said I wish they, oh, I know what you mean now, Hawker. I gotcha, with the scenery still floating and all. Yeah. All right, let's be a close out with our friends at FedEx Express Virtual. FDX8 Uno. All right. Not too worried about it. They wanted me, they know how to get a hold of me. All right, let me just double check here over at FedEx, make sure everything logged in okay, nothing deleted, good deal. 1.4 hours, folks, we were in the air for 234 miles, according to FedEx. All right. Now, let's get into seeing how well we did here. I don't know if anyone went after. I know I didn't. Let's see here. Sim toolkit. There you go. All right, so there you have it, folks. The green here means center is up. There's an ATIS for Little Rock, probably Nashville, and maybe something south of here. But anyway, there you go. You can see us coming into TALLO fashion and right on into the pattern. Okay, now here's what I like about some toolkit. After I complete the flight, it's going to end up in our logbook right there. Okay, they got us a 483. Okay, you know, I kind of expected that because I didn't get the nose up. I didn't think quick enough, but no, I still think it looked pretty good to me. Let's see what the details say. Okay, 1.9 G's, so we woke up the cargo. Good deal. And the goal was to make sure we woke up Bad Attitude so he's ready to go to work. All right, so here's the details, folks. We came in on our expected runway, 18 Charlie. It's an 11,000 foot runway. You got the rest of the particulars here. We touched down 538 feet. I thought we were pretty close to like right up here. I didn't realize I came in short. 7 feet off the center, that's great too. So to me, this was a good landing. Pitch right under 6, roll, everything looked level. 122, little slow there, so a little bit of a stall helped us there. And I mean, overall, it looks like a good landing to me. Other than, why did I lose my EFB over there? Dang it. Oh well. Don't need it for the rest of the flight here. Get rid of Sim Toolkit. Let's go ahead and try to look at this. I'm not gonna really say much other than we just disconnected from VATSIM. Because that loose nut behind the wheel forgot to disconnect. Okay, so we're ready to try this to go backwards, if it'll let us. Oh, start about there. Let's find some music. Get outside the airplane. And let's learn. All right, here we go, folks. I'm gonna kick it a little faster. It's actually a pretty stable approach on my part. Till you speed it up. But again, this is where all FedEx parks, folks. Hence the higher minimums. Oh yeah, we did land short. Okay. Wow, that looked like a good landing, folks. Alright, well, not a lot to complain about. Yeah, I can see it was a little bit rough. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Not one of my finest, but not one of my worst. No, it won't look any worse over here, folks. Look at all. I love how it keeps that in replay. Let's kind of watch it though coming in, see how it. Pretty stable approach, folks. It just didn't have that nose in a few inches up. This is true, and I think we'll see that I figured out what caused that. We're not sure yet. A lot of variables at work here. We're going to go back a couple more looks, and then we're going to wrap it up for now. Folks, I will take a break, shut the stream down the whole 9 yards. There's a chance I'll be back for a second flight. Nobody seemed to comment wanting a second flight. So we'll kind of see. Let's take a look out the other window. But we'll see how things go. Well, that's because you haven't been on stream most of the time, Hawker. I've been checking. There you go. Last one, folks. Let's see how the tower liked it. I think we're in the one that's floating. Yeah, definitely an early landing. Oh well. Hey, we're in the runway. We're on the runway. All right, folks. Welcome to Memphis. Thanks for flying with us today, folks. It has been an honor to fly for you all today. An honor to just be with you all today, talking with y'all. The flying is, hey, that's just the other half of it being an enjoyable time. So hope you all learned something. We did go long in the buildup of this flight, but it's been a while since we've done that with ZIBO. Folks, I am going to take a break. We'll shut things down. If I've got an idea for a second flight, we may come back and we'll see what we can do for y'all. So if not, Hawker, if you have an idea for a second flight, text it to me. I'm going to grab some dinner here, folks. So that's why we'll go ahead and shut it down. And if we don't have anything planned tonight, we'll be back on. So hope y'all have a great rest of your day. Those of you that can join us, look forward to seeing you. Those of you who can't, have a great rest of your Wednesday and rest of your week. Tomorrow, we'll be back in the Queen. So y'all have a great night as we taxi in. Matter of fact, you know what? Let's kind of punch it. And then cockpit. Dadgummit, forgot I don't have it. And folks, y'all have a great day. We'll be back here, in about an hour. Talk to you then. God bless. We'll see you then. Have a great day.
What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through.